Hey y'all, and welcome back to Our Road Less Traveled. What are we talking about today, Clay?
We're going to give you our opinion of how to buy the right RV the first time instead of being like us going through at least two. Because y'all that watched our last video, you'll get a hint out of that. But we're at Galveston Island today, and we thought that this would be a great backdrop, and we're actually going to go a little bit closer to the ocean. So stand by.
It's questionable whether our sound is going to work or not. Hopefully we're not going to see a snake, because there's lots of signs that say snake. It's actually Jamaica Beach or something. A little past Jamaica Beach.
That's a good question. Is Jamaica Beach still on Galveston Island?
Yeah.
Where is
It's just a different beach.
this? Different beach, same place. Same city. Right. How to buy the right rig the first time. So when we bought our first rig, we already had a truck, which brings me to, you've got a chicken and an egg going on here. Which one came first? Do you buy the RV first, or do you buy the truck first? If you already have the truck and you're not willing to upgrade it or trade it to a bigger truck, then you're locked in what kind of RV that you need. And we're just going to cover travel trailers and fifth wheels, because we have not bought a class A, B, C, or Super C.
No.
So your towables. So if you've already got the truck and you're not gonna upgrade it or whatnot, you're locked to buy that truck. And if you open up the driver's door, it will show you the payload number on that thing, and that's what you need to go buy first. On a travel trailer, the weight that the travel trailer puts on the truck is called the tongue weight. That tongue weight is based off of the dry weight of the camper, so nothing in it. There's no water, no propane, nothing. And I don't know anybody that goes camping with nothing. So if your tongue weight on a travel trailer is more payload than what your truck lists, you got to go down in size on the travel trailer. Same holds true for a fifth wheel. The pin weight is the amount of weight that it adds to the truck, and that pin weight is based on 16 to 20% of the gross vehicle weight unloaded. Again, I don't know anybody that takes their fifth wheel camping that doesn't put something in it. So that pin weight's going to go up. If that pin weight is more than your payload, you got to get a smaller fifth wheel. All right, so a lot of y'all are probably saying, but Clay, what about the towing capability? Well, you need to account for that too. But you need to look at your payload first. I don't know what the average tow capability of a half-ton, three-quarter ton that is. I can only tell you what it is on a Ram. So the 2018 and up, the three-quarter ton with a diesel, you're looking at about 18,000 pounds towing, which typically you're not going to run out of tow capability. You're going to run out of payload, which on the bottom trim of the Ram Tradesman, it's right around 2,200 pounds. So by the time you put yourself, your gear, the trailer, you're out there. Anyway, the next thing you've got to worry about is, even if you're good at payload and you're good on towing, you've got to make sure that you're not putting so much weight on the truck that you're overloading the front and rear axles on it. So that's the third thing you check. Once you're good with those three, then you move into what's actually the hardest part.
So this is where your wants and your needs come in. You're gonna probably want to make like a spreadsheet or something like that. We wanted like a rear living, we wanted opposing slides, we wanted a big enough kitchen, a decent sized bathroom and a pretty decent sized bedroom. But we didn't know what we didn't know.
Yeah, we didn't know what we didn't know.
Which kind of is the tricky part about all of this.
So this is where we kind of deviate from Maria's creativity side and Clay's technical side. So Maria doesn't care about auto leveling. Clay wanted auto leveling. He was tired of dealing with the travel trailer and the manual setup with those. We knew that a 6-gallon water heater was too small. We needed one closer to 10 gallons.
Right.
There were things that we put down that were must-haves, and then there were things that we wanted.
Right.
Which would be a Max Air fan in the kitchen and the bathroom.
Right.
That was a want, not a need.
Right. Place to hook up a washer and dryer.
Right.
You know, a want, but yeah, a want and a need.
Yeah, that would kind of straddle the fence.
That also depends on how you're using your RV. Because, you know, if you're full time, that's one thing. If you're a weekend warrior, that's another thing. But also, if you are a weekend warrior that hopes to one day be a full timer, you never know.
Which brings up a really good point. Biggest mistake that we made when we bought the travel trailer wasn't that we bought the travel trailer. We loved our Alta.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I wish we could have afforded to keep it because it was fantastic. We never had a problem with it. But we bought that thinking that we were going to use it 1 to 2 weekends a year and that we would rent it out the rest of the time, so we bought a bunkhouse.
Right. What we probably should have done was rented one 2 or 3 times and then decided what we were going to use it for. We didn't know we were going to like it so much, and we absolutely loved it, so
here we are. But that brings up a good point. Don't buy for 2 years down the road. Buy for what your current situation is. Unless you are actively putting things in place and plan to do like full-time or most time a year down the road, then you can buy what you would grow into. All right, so what are some of the features that are big to you in a fifth wheel that you wouldn't think would matter to somebody that would fall into that category of don't know until you know?
Well, pantry space.
Pantry's one of them. There are some brands out there, and we love them. We looked at them.
Yeah.
That actually we went back and were planning on buying until we realized that the pantry was a deal breaker.
Right. So we really like some of the newer models are starting to have a flat floor, and we really like that. Is this something we need or want?
Well, to me, that's when it straddles the fence, because if I can kick my toe against that raised slide one more time.
Yeah. And you know what we're talking about, the toe kicker, the slide that in the kitchen that has about this much of a lip.
It's about a 2-inch lip.
And for people that are, you know, not super tall, and you're trying to cook right there on the stove, you got to step up on it or be back here or whatever.
That's the other thing is when you're going to buy a rig, and this is going to sound goofy, but I promise you want to do it. Go stand in the shower and don't just stand in there, you know, and go, oh yeah, it's tall. What you want to do is simulate washing your hair.
And dry it off.
The big one is drying off. You would be amazed at how small that space gets. But each rig comes with a different size shower. All right, so another thing you want to do is look at the suspension on it. You've got those that come with just a stamped equalizer. It's not a Cree, it's not a road armor, it's just a stamped piece of metal. Then you've got those that have a Cree equalizer, but they don't have the Cree shackles and brass bushings. To me, that's a deal breaker to me. It's got to have the full Cree 3000 system, which is the thicker shackles. And we've got pictures of that.
Floor vents.
Floor vents is a deal breaker for us.
It is.
If it's got floor vents, we're not buying it.
Right. Also, 2-piece shower is a deal breaker for us.
I think that started with me. I'm not sure that Maria cares, but
Well, okay. Backstory: we had a house that had problem after problem after problem with the shower pan.
yes.
And so I think we're just kind of traumatized from that from years ago.
So I like a one-piece shower. They're easier to clean. There's no threat of them leaking anywhere except where the shower door is, and if you put enough caulk on that thing, it won't leak.
Right.
We do the inside and the outside of the shower, by the way. Our needs have changed a little bit now that we've been to the travel trailer and the fifth wheel. And so auto level jacks were great on the Tandem. But hydraulic jacks are better.
Right.
You don't have to touch them at all. So that's kind of a want that's moved into the need category.
Yeah.
The fiberglass shower, that's a need. A bed that goes east and west
With
versus
the bed slide.
with a bed slide versus north and south, so you have storage in the nose if you're in a front bedroom.
Right.
That's a need.
Yeah.
Washer and dryer with a separate closet, not built into the closet because it takes up room.
Right.
That's a requirement. No floor beds.
Biggest bathroom we could possibly find.
Yeah, until you've lived in one for a year with somebody, especially when you start getting old and decrepit and you have to start taking medicine and all kind of other crap falls apart, you need a medicine cabinet.
Yeah. I mean, we have one, but 3 is better.
It's a lot better.
Cabinets are better. Not one cabinet, but multiple cabinets in the bathroom. Instead of having to put a little plastic drawer thingy.
It's held closed with a bungee cord.
Yes, it's held closed with a bungee cord.
And 2 vanities are better than 1 vanity.
That's right.
Y'all are getting a lot of hints here.
Yep, and we found the one.
We found what I believe is our forever rig. We've held off on doing anything much to the Pandera.
Yeah.
Because we knew that.
Right.
I mean, it's been problem free, but
As soon as we went full time, we knew that that was not our forever rig, because with the north-south bed and a closet this wide and this tall with a washer dryer hookup, but if you put one in there, it takes up the entire hanging clothes, so it's just not practical for full time. I mean, for us anyway.
gosh, yeah. And
We've got all kinds of camera equipment, and we've got
Stella.
shoes and Stella and all her stuff, and
computers.
yeah,
I mean, we
work stuff for him and work stuff for me, and
so we're just a little overcrowded.
yeah.
To recap,
Yeah.
to buy the right rig the first time, if you already have a truck, you have to start there and look at your payment. If you don't already have a truck, then you can pretty much buy whatever fifth wheel you want, as long as you understand that you're going to have to buy a truck big enough to pull it. Once you get your truck situation figured out, that's when you go look at travel trailers, fifth wheels, and you look at the tongue weight, pin weight,
Well,
make sure it fits. Then you start looking at the amenities and the layouts. Do you want a rear living? Do you want a front living? Do you need a mid bunk? Do you
Yeah.
want a toy hauler? How are you going to use your rig? And like Maria said, if you're only camping on weekends, your needs are going to be different than somebody that lives in their rig full time, whether that's stationary or mobile. So if we thoroughly covered this topic.
I think so, and I mean, which kind of leads to why we had the wrong rig, the Tandera. It's not the wrong rig, but
It was the right rig at the time. We just
because
didn't
of the
do
truck
any
we had.
planning.
Yeah. Anyway.
The whole truth of the matter is, when we knew that the travel trailer was not going to suffice for living at the time we made that decision, we already had a 3/4 ton truck,
Mm-hmm.
which I had bought 4 years prior with no
We didn't even know we were going to be RVing at that
We
point.
didn't know we were going to be RVers. So we backed into the truck. Well, when I got to looking at the Tandera that had the bed slide in it, it was going to be over 100 pounds over what the truck's payload was. So we dropped down to the 285. So we were weekenders at that point. And then after a year of that, we realized we wanted
We could do this full time.
So
No regrets, by the way.
none.
We
We stuck with the Tandera. Now, next week we're going to do a deep dive into Brinkley versus an Alliance versus an East to West. We're going to point out a lot of these differences because they're all three fantastic rigs, but they fit different lifestyles and they have different configurations. So.
With that, I guess we're out. And
We're out.
We'll see you next week.
See y'all.
Bye.